had fun making some paper from recycled materials. This is one sample. It's not dry yet, and we made it pretty thick. But it is fun thing to do with kids, and we use different flowers and stuff. So here are the supplies that you need. You will definitely need some old paper. So this is actually already recycled paper. You can shred it, or you can use scissors. There's another type of paper. Don't worry about any pattern that's on it, because that will actually add to the charm. I do love shredding it. It's kind of very satisfying. You can add flowers, dried flowers. You can add moss. We added some lavender, and the paper actually smelled. That was pretty cool. Next thing you need is water. Lots of water. And then you will need blender. If you're fortunate, you have one with the top. I always hold my hand up here so I don't end up with a painted ceiling. You need kitchen towels, but you can also use fabric towels instead. The next very important thing is the frame. So you can make your own wooden frame, or you can call it screen. It's like silk screen basically. You can even use picture frame and attach back screen to it. You see it? That's a back screen. You cut it to size. You can use metal one, plastic one, whatever you want. This one for the paper, that's actually original kit. It's very thin, but it will work just fine. There are a few different types. So this frame has got the screen attached to the top, and when we make the paper we will have to pour it in, and for the next step we will use small size screen. You will get it when I show you. Basically this screen has to fit in. The other type of frame is one that has got little ledge here. So this is the screen and there's little ledge. That works better. You will need some bowls, you will need some kitchen towels, you will need paper napkins. I think I covered everything. No, you don't need toaster. So basically you start with shredding the paper, then you dump it in the blender, then you can add some herbs, and then you add water. Lots of water, lots of water. I usually start with less water, mix it, blend it, and then add more water. I am going to spare you of the sound effect of the blender. I'm sure you can imagine. So when I'm done with this, I have my mixture ready next to my little bath. My bath is basically whatever shallow container you have. This is a cooking pan. I fill it with water. I have it conveniently next to my sink. So I just pour water in. You make sure that the level is higher or goes above the frame. Then you pour the mixture in, and you make sure that you cover all surfaces. The beauty of doing it in the bath, I have done it before just like a dry frame. You basically pour it in and mix it around. But with this bath, once it's submerged, it's flatter basically, which is pretty cool. I'm holding my phone with one hand and working just with one hand, and basically this is what you end up with. It's not bad. It's nicely mixed. So right now I have the pulp in the frame. I submerge it a little bit so it's definitely even on all sides. Then I can lift it and I can pour the water out. So this is when I told my kids how much water there is basically wasted. So this is what you see. How much water there is wasted during paper production. Here is my screen. I put it down, I squeeze it, and all the water will be coming out, which is basically how you dry it. So the water is coming out, and I use little helper, old-fashioned sponge, and I squeeze even more out. I have for now. I lift the screen, and I have this, and I will show you in the next step what to do. So once I used the sponge and dried everything, I ended up with this. So now I can lift the screen, and I have very, very wet pulp. So there are a few methods what you can do. Basically you want to flip it here on your kitchen towel or paper towel, napkin, whatever, you can risk it and just do pop. Ta-da! And I did it, and I'm pretty happy. And you can even try it a little bit more with another kitchen towel. The way to do it would be putting your kitchen towel here, right? And with both hands, if you are lucky, you do this, you flip it. Oops. And you have your paper here, right? So you can again add another paper towel to the top and dry it. And do you know what's the best thing to do? Take this all outside on the sun. Step to paper making, it's not necessary. And this is the iron, my long lost friend. I hardly ever use iron. Anyhow, and I have the paper here still wet, and it is nice to actually iron it and make it flatter, change some shapes. It helps with the drying process as well. If you are doing this with kids, you can really skip this step. It's not important, but it does get rid of some of the wobbliness, and it makes nice steam. Ta-da! So the paper will be, this one is still pretty thick. You can definitely make it thinner, but it's a fun project. Enjoy!